everyone, welcome back to my channel Cloud of Champion. Today we are diving into a super important topic for anyone working with infrastructure as a code, basically testing your Terraform code using Terratest. So when we talk about Terraform, we often focus on building infrastructure, but how do we make sure that our infrastructure code actually works before it hits production, right? So that's where Terratest comes in. It helps us automatically test our Terraform deployments using real infrastructure, so giving us confidence in our code and preventing costly mistakes, right? So here I have opened Terratest official page. As you can see, Terratest is a Go library that provides patterns and helper functions for testing infrastructure with first class support for Terraform, Packer, Docker, Kubernetes, AWS, GCP, and more, right? So there are four steps involved in Terratest. First one is write test code using Go. So Go is a programming language, and Terratest uses that Go programming language to write the test files of the Terratest, right? So the file should end with underscore test dot go, and then you can run these test files using the Go commands like go test my underscore test dot go. So this is the first step. You need to write the test file. Inside that you need to write the test cases, and then second step is use Terratest to deploy the infrastructure, and the third one is to validate infrastructure with Terratest, right? And then undeploy. Undeploy basically to destroy the resources which you have created. In this video, what things we will cover, we will see prerequisites to work with Terratest. So for working with Terratest, we need Go programming language, Python, and then some IDE tools such as VS Code. Then we will see how Terratest works under the hood. Then we will see setting up a basic Terratest project step by step, and then writing your first real world test case for Terraform code, right? So before we start, hit the bell icon, subscribe to my channel, right? So let's begin. So I have opened my GCP console. I already have my account in this Google, in this cloud provider. So I am using this cloud provider as a demo in this tutorial, right? And then I have also opened Terraform registry for the Google documentation for taking the resources here, the resource code, Terraform resource code basically, right? And then I have also opened the Visual Studio Code. So as I said, you need three tools: Visual Studio Code, uh, Go, and Python. So you can download it from the official website of the of this softwares. And then once you have you have downloaded, open create a folder in your desktop such as Terratest, and then open it here. Once that is done, check if the versions of if you can see the version of your software, let's say Go. So you can see I am able to see the Go version, like from that I can understand that the Go programming language is installed in my system. And then same way I can check the Python. I'm getting the version of the Python as well. Now Terraform, so I'm getting the version of both of these softwares, right? It means all these softwares are installed in my system. So obviously you need Terraform software as well to work with Terraform code. So first one is Go, Python, and Terraform, right? And then an IDE to work to write code, right? So let's start. So once everything is set up, right? So let's create a file called main.tf. Here we will put our Terraform code. So for example, I'll take output, just an output block as an example, right? And then I'll create a folder called tests, and inside that I'll create all my test files, right? So we'll create tf underscore test dot go. So every test file should end with uh, underscore test dot go, right? That's how the Go understand that this is a test file. Once done, I'll, I already have the code for the test, so I'll paste it here. So here you can see package test. You can give any name to this package and then some import block. Here this is testing, and then there are some modules which is present into the GitHub. So we need to put these two lines of code to test the Terraform codes, right? And then the function. We in Terratest we need to write functions to test the resources, right? So you can write many functions, not just one function inside one test case. So let's say the function test Terraform hello world example and Terraform options, Terraform dot with default retrievable errors. So if you can see Terraform directory, so this code is basically to tell your test that my Terraform code is present into this directory, and then this code is to destroy the resources. So this differ is tells differ basically tells Terratest that run this Terraform dot destroy at the end of the function when the function ends. So that is why this differ is, and this code is to destroy the resources. And this and then after that we have Terraform dot init and apply. So it initializes. So what is the Terraform behavior is Terraform first initialize the resources and then applies it, right? So that is what here it's doing, Terraform dot init and apply, and then we are checking the output. So here what we are doing, we are taking the output, basically the output name. Here we are taking this output value and we are putting the output value in this variable output, and then we are writing an assert dot equal hello test output. So what the assert is doing, it is checking if this value is equal to this value, like the whatever value is present in the output variable, right? And where this value will come, it will come from this output main.tf. So once done, we will in the terminal we will go to our test directory, because our test file is present inside the test directory, and we can only run our test commands, test go commands within the same directory where our test file is present, right? So I already have some of the test go commands, right? So first command is to initialize the tests. I'll copy and paste here, right? Now you can see one file is getting created, module test, and then the go and the version of the go. In the terminal, if you can see, it's saying to add module requirements and sums, run this command. So I'll copy and paste. Now what it's doing is finding the module for package, both the package, and then it's downloading and copying into the go.mod, and as well as it created one more file go.sum. This both the files are required to run our test file, right? It both the file has the required modules and required packages to run our go test. Okay, so once that is done, let me clear it. Now we can test our test case. So I copied the command, paste and enter. So I got the result. If we analyze here, Terraform is initializing, here Terraform is applying, and here it is destroying. As we don't have any resource, we are just getting the output. Here you can see zero resources added, zero resources destroyed, because there is no resource. We just have an output block in our main.tf, right? So my test case is pass. Now let's delete something, I mean remove something from here and then save it. right? Now my test case should fail because this is the actual value, but the expected value should be this. Let's test. So as you can see, my test case is failed. Expected this one, actual this one. So this is not matching, right? That is why my test case is failed, right? So we have multiple go commands such as go test hyphen timeout 30 minutes. Like you can put any number of minutes here and you can put timeout so that while running the command it will only run for 30 minutes. Then you can put hyphen v for verbose. There are multiple go commands. You can go in the official documentation of go and check out there, right? So now this is a basic example for the Terratest. Let's jump into one more example of the Terratest. So I already have the code for that. So in this case we will deploy real resource in the GCP console. So as I said, I already have GCP account with a project, right? And what changes we need to do is we will first of all we will as I said we will deploy a resource here. We will take Google storage bucket and I'll just remove the unnecessary code which is optional. Save it. I'll name a unique name to the storage bucket. Let's say any number, right? So that it will not throw me any error. Once that is done, I'll create a one more file, providers.tf, to put my providers, my GCP providers. I'll copy the provider from here, paste. Now this is my Terraform provider and this is my Google provider. So in this one we need two things, uh, my project and my credentials. So this is my project where I will deploy the resource and this is the credential to connect my Terraform code to the GCP, right? So this file I have already downloaded uh, from the service account in the GCP. So I'll just copy and paste here, right? And then save it. Let me format it. So once that is done, we need one more file where we will put our outputs.tf, right? So for that I already have some sample code. I'll copy and paste. So here if you can see I have four output: bucket name, location, force destroy, uniform access. So in main.tf we have four variables, right? We will display the output of these four variables, right? So these four output block will display the name, location, force destroy, uniform access of this storage bucket, right? Once done, uh, I need to replace this test with the test function of the storage bucket, or else let me just replace the function only. I'll just copy the function, paste it here, right? So this should remain same for every test case. You can put any package name, but the function should be different. So here, let me just, yeah. So here we have a new function name test GCP storage bucket attributes, right? So this is the common code which needs to be present in every function, and this is a parallel function which says that uh, like you can run multiple functions. Let's say you only have one function, right? But let's say you have multiple functions present into the same test file. So and you want to run those functions in parallel, right? So in that case you can put this function in the uh, in your test case, basically test case function. But considering that there is no dependency for the functions. Let's say you have multiple functions, but every functions is independent. It is not dependent on the other function. Only in that case you can use this. So then I have a t.log. This is just to log something. So like displaying something, initializing Terraform options. So here, as I said, Terraform directory is to tell that my main.tf is present here, and then defer as I said in the previous example. It will run at the end of the function to destroy the resources, and then same a log. I'm putting a log running Terraform init and apply. This is the go command of Terraform to initialize and apply. So here I am fetching Terraform output. So this command will basically deploy this resource, initialize and deploy the Google Storage bucket, right? So after that I'm fetching Terraform outputs. So as I have mentioned four outputs here, I'm taking all of those four outputs into my test function: bucket name, location, force destroy, uniform access. So everything I'm taking, right? And I'm taking all of these four variables into a variable inside this test file, right? And then I have t.log f, basically formatting. In that one I have validating bucket. I am validating bucket name, right? I got this value. This will replace with the value which I will be getting for the bucket name, right? So that is why I have passed here. And then assert dot equal, I am checking if this name is equal to this bucket name, right? If the bucket name is not match, I'll get a output bucket name does not match as expected, right? Same case with other four variables as well, right? So let's run it. Let me clear, go test. So my test is running. My Terraform code is initialized. Now Terraform apply is running. So you can see one to add means one resource is added, and I can see four outputs as I mentioned in my outputs.tf, right? And then the logs which is saying that one resource is added. Then outputs, I got these four outputs after the resource is deployed, right? And then it's destroying the resources. Once, as I said, like at the end it will destroy the resources which is created. So one resource is destroyed, same resource, right? Now here you can see I got my test case. This is the function name, initializing Terraform options, running Terraform init and apply, fetching Terraform outputs, validating bucket name. So you can see got this one means I have named my storage bucket as this, right? But this is not matching with my with my expected value, right? So this is different. So that is why my test case is failing. So expected is this one, but what I got, what like the expected one is this one, but the Terra test got this value. right? So this is not matching. This is why my test case is failed. So let's put the same name now, then run the test. So now my test case is pass because every value is matching with the test case. So that is how you can test your Terraform code, right?